Hi, and welcome to another LRCC Soundbite. I'm carrying on today with our journey through the stories of Jesus, written down by a man called Luke. We can read them in the Bible today. Now, today's story, Jesus is travelling along. In the distance, he sees a group of 10 men. They stay away, though. They don't come near him or his followers. And then, as they start to shout to him, it becomes clear why. They're all suffering from an infectious disease that at the time there was no known cure for. That disease was leprosy, still around today. And we know today that it's caused by a nasty little bacteria and it affects your nerves, your skin, your eyes, amongst other things. Today, it can be cured. But back then, there really was nothing you could do. And worse, because it was infectious, people needed to stay away so it didn't get passed on. As a result, groups of people, all with leprosy, would stick together, support each other as best they could, and family members of those infected might leave food out for their loved ones, but they'd never be able to get close to them or hug them ever again. It was really horrible. You were an outcast from society. Now, this group had heard about Jesus, so they shouted to him from a distance, asking simply for him to have mercy on them. Whether they were asking for healing, for money, for food, who knows? Probably all of the above and more. Anyway, Jesus told them to go and see the priest. It's a bit strange, you might think, but back then the priest was the only one who could reinstate you in society. If you thought you were cured of leprosy, which was very, very rare, then you would go to see the priest and they would examine you and they could declare that you were healed and could rejoin the rest of the world. So off they all went. As they went, they received God's healing, so that by the time they got to the priest, all of them were declared fully fit and able to rejoin their families and society. Isn't that incredible? One of them went rushing off to go and find Jesus and thank him. After he found him again and they met, Jesus asked the man, what happened to the other 9? We never actually find out the answer, only that this one man who came back to see Jesus wasn't even from around those parts, but he came back to say thank you. Now, you would have thought that if something completely amazing had happened to you to totally change your life, it would be worth going back to say thank you. But then, if I think about our society today, often we get busy, events overtake us. Sometimes we don't even realise the effect that someone's actions or their words are going to have on us until we look back later. I know for myself, someone once said something to me that became a complete inspiration. It gave me the kick I needed to go and look outside the place I was and to grow. As I looked back, I did realise the importance of those words they said, and eventually I did go back to that person and say thank you. You're probably not surprised to know that they didn't even remember having that conversation, but it had had such an impact on me, I just needed to say thank you. So this week, why don't we just try and be a little bit more aware of what people do for us? Sometimes it's quite easy to feel entitled to things we have, or think that things like that don't really matter to other people. But I know that thank you can sometimes make the world a much brighter place for someone else. You might just be giving them the encouragement that they need today, and you wouldn't even know it. So thank you for taking the time to listen. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.